Well, welcome to the Startup Espresso. I'm Hall T. Martin, the host of the show, where we talk about raising funding for your startup and the time it takes to have an espresso. I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, this is Hall T. Martin with the Startup Funding Espresso, your daily shot of startup funding and investing. As your company grows and the equity becomes worth more, there comes a time to switch over to debt funding. There are several forms of debt to consider. Each one is used for a different application. The primary options are as follows. The traditional bank loan requires a personal guarantee, is most often used to launch a company. Line of credit. Once you have revenue, this can be used to smooth out the uneven bumps in your cash flow. Equipment financing. If you need equipment for your business, this is a good way to finance it as it reduces your fundraise requirements. And revenue-based funding. Once you have a steady flow of revenue, you can use revenue-based funding to accelerate the growth as you pay back out of the revenue stream. And factoring accounts receivables funding. Once you have a steady book of business, you can borrow against the accounts receivable line. And finally, venture debt. Once you have substantial revenue, you can raise debt funding rather than equity funding, as it will be cheaper in the long run. Thank you for joining us for the Startup Funding Espresso, where we help startups and investors connect for funding. Let's go startups into the day. Hall T. Martin is the director of Investor Connect, which is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to the education of investors for early-stage funding. All opinions expressed by Hall and podcast guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinion of Investor Connect. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon as a basis for investment decisions.